Hi
Everyone.
everyone, it's Ash. This is Indie Insider, and my guest today is Liaan from the band The Color Blue. How are you doing, Liaan?
Great to know you, man. Wonderful to be here.
Oh, great. Well, I'm glad to have you. It's great. I love talking to my fellow South Africans. I think it brings back home the memories.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Liaan, let's get started then. How did the band come about?
Well, the color blue has been going for quite some time. Myself, I was introduced to Armando and Marius a couple of years ago when they were playing in another band, and
Okay,
as things would have it, we ended up jamming together because we just had a synergy as musicians. So we played together for about a year or two, uh, just jamming. And then we decided I had these songs. At that point, I was playing in a band called Blacklist Rock, which was a rock metal band, and I wrote a couple of alternative songs, and it wasn't going to work in my current group at the time. So I spoke to Marius and Armando, and I said to them, "We're jamming together. Why don't we just write music for these songs?
right.
And why don't you guys do it with me as a side project?" Lo and behold, that side project became the color blue eventually. And in about a year later, Tim joined the band. Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically how we started. Yeah.
And who decided on the name for the band?
Well, one night we were sitting at the studio, and we thought, well, if we're going to do this project, I remember it was a Thursday night, if I recall. We just finished with rehearsal, and we said, well, if we're going to record this stuff, we probably need to have a name. And I always had this idea of a color being in a name in my head, since I started.
Right.
And I said to them, I've always liked something with like the color blue,
Yeah.
and both of them said, "Hey, that sounds cool." And Armando said, "We got to change it a bit. Why don't we change the spelling to the American spelling, the COLOR? The color."
Yes.
And um, that thought me, led to blue instead of the color blue. All the colors blowing up, and that became the color blue because funny enough, when I sing these songs, and since the start, I always see songs in colors, and it's like the colors blowing up, filling the room with the
Right.
different songs, and that's how the name came about.
It's a very interesting name. I've never come across that, and I think it stands out.
No, thank you. That's exactly what we wanted to do. It's very important to from the start, pick something that resonates with your music and with you, and then ultimately you become that, and you believe in that. I am the color blue. Armando is the color blue. Maurice and Tim are both the color blue. And that's
Of
who we are.
course. Of
Yeah.
course. And with each of the guys, what do you guys do in the band? If you could just tell us who's who in the band and what instruments they play and who sings.
No problem. I'll start with me since I'm talking to you.
Good
I'm
idea.
the I'm Liaan, and I am the vocalist, and I play rhythm guitar. Um, then we have I spoke to you about Armando and George,
Yes.
who were the founding members. We call him George, but his name is Marius. It's George
Okay.
and his bass, but it's Marius. We'll start with that. Marius is our bassist. He's the really tall guy, and he's a forceful character with a lot of energy, and he's our bass guitarist. And then we have Armando. He's our drummer, percussionist. And then we've got Timothy James, incredible guitarist. He's the lead guitarist, and yeah, that's us, the color blue. And yeah, it's in a nutshell, that's who we are.
Oh, fantastic. And Leon, do you find the crowd where you perform, is it mostly Joburg that you perform, or do you travel to Cape Town, Durban, any other cities?
We've been since we started, right after we formed and we got our material together, we went on a yeah, we played a lot. We paid our dues. We played all over the country.
Right.
I think all the guys in the band will say that we really like playing small towns. I mean, some of our best gigs, were in little towns like Vryheid and
Right.
uh, yeah, it's really nice playing the small towns, Rustenburg
Oh,
and all over the
beautiful.
country. Yeah, so we've been pretty much everywhere. Um, there is a drought when it comes to venues in South Africa.
Right.
I've seen venues come and go over the last couple of years. There's a couple of stalwart venues that we perform at, but I'd say mostly, I think the focus for us at the moment is um, creating as much material and as much content digitally as possible and sharing
Right.
that with the fans. That's where we are at the
Of
moment.
course. And regarding to writing the songs, who writes the songs, or do you do it all together?
Yeah, we've got a very unique approach that's evolved over the years. Like I said, right in the beginning when we started with the first album, which was called The Canvas, that was songs that I pretty much wrote, and the band contributed music to it, and it evolved from there.
Right.
Then, when Tim joined the band right at the end of the recording process of the Canvas, then the band dynamic also changed where we would go and play a lot of shows. I mean, we played a lot of gigs in, I call it the light switch period, which was around 2018, 2019.
Right.
We played a lot of shows, and we wrote the second album while being on tour effectively. And that's basically the songs came about from our experiences on the road, from little jams before gigs, and Marius and Tim jamming, and then if I like the jam, I'll start singing, and and it'll
Right.
evolve into a song. So that whole second Light Switch album was that. And when we got to, obviously, we had the big event in 2020, which reset everything for all of us. We got together after that, and we went into the studio, and we decided we're just going to jam. And we wrote. There was no sit down, no preconceived notion of, okay, we're gonna now write a song. We just jammed and we wrote songs,
Wow.
just from playing. Like, in that's the way we work. And if if
Yeah.
if someone doesn't like the feel, then we move on to the next thing.
Right.
Um, yeah, so they'll pretty much come up with the music. I'll listen to it and for the new stuff, and then I'll let the music lead me to the feelings that I think would I can put into words, and that would become the song.
Oh, fantastic. So everybody just like works together and it just goes from there. And then you produce the song, you play the song. I think that's fantastic, Liaan. I really think it's
Yeah, yeah.
from start to finish. It must take a long time though to do.
Well, no, no. Funny enough, our single that we put out, I'd say the first single from this cycle that we put out last year, "Love in Space," that was written in 30 minutes. The
Wow.
whole song was written in 30 minutes. Yeah, obviously you do a little bit of polishing here and there with this little part and little change here to the chorus, but the brunt of the song was done very, very quickly. Even Discount Hearts, which is the new single, was written very, very quickly in the space of one rehearsal. And then,
Jeez.
yeah, yeah, we don't like to ponder on things.
Yeah.
I think we've evolved into. Um, I always say to people, I try and capture the moment lyrically, and they create the moment with the music, and we try and fixate only on that moment and what that moment makes us feel, and we only hit that specific moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And are you guys all good friends in the band, or do you just sort of, I wouldn't say tolerate each other, but do you get together for parties or bars or anything like that?
Yeah, listen, we're family. We are extended family. That's the way we see it. all of us, we've walked a long road together. We've known each other now for 12 years.
Wow.
I met Armando and Marius 12 years ago. Timothy I've known since he was like 10.
Geez, that's a long
So
time.
yeah, so I've known him for many years. I was in a different band. He was he started gigging when he was 10. And
Jeez.
that's how I met him. He was in a band, in a cover band called Black Jacket, this incredible whiz kid playing lead guitar. It was way before YouTube. Otherwise, he would have been a sensation, you know.
Of course, yeah, he would
But
have been popular.
yeah, he's an incredible guitarist, you know. And so I met him back then, and it just worked out that when he turned 18, he joined the band, you know, our band.
Right.
And
Okay.
so I've known him for many years. Yeah, we're family. We braai, we spend time together, we share. We've been through lots of tragedies together, lots of ups and downs, and you know,
Wow.
we've supported each other through that. And yeah, it's like I said, it's way past being friends. It's
It's
being brothers.
family. Just
Yeah,
for our
absolutely.
listeners, a braai is a barbecue, in case people don't know what a braai is. So for all our listeners, a barbecue is what we call a braai, which is much, much better than a barbecue.
It is.
1,000 times better. And Liaan, tell us, what do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do to relax? Or if you're not performing, what do you like to do?
Oh, I honestly think that there's no spare time anymore. Hey, it's all music. Even you know, you're not performing or rehearsing or writing, but you're creating content, making videos. You know, everything's DIY now. You know,
Of
you got to do
course.
it yourself. If you don't do it yourself, you're going to get nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, so I think if you're truly an artist and truly a musician, then you know you're gonna you're gonna suffer for that art. You know, you're gonna work
Yeah.
for it. But yeah, you know, my son, I spend a lot of time with him. He's also extremely talented and plays many instruments. So that's still an
Wow.
involvement with music. And then yeah, I think when I'm not busy with the band or um, then I'm probably in the studio doing something else, you know, but still to do
Yeah.
with music.
Oh, well,
So for me,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
yeah, no,
Oh, wow.
absolutely, yeah.
Liaan, tell us, what is your favorite part about performing live?
Yeah, I think we 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 all love playing live. We are a very driven live band. We like to leave it all out on the stage. So I think if I connect with one or two people, even if there's 1,000 or 10,000 people, if I just connect with one or two, I'm happy. It could be
Right.
one person, and if I connect with that person, you know, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I always feel bands need to understand if people go through the trouble to go and you know to go out and go and see them, they need to give them a show. They need to give them a performance. You have to work on that stage craft. And I think sometimes it has to be a balance. You need to have the art and the talent and the stagecraft. You can't just have one or the other, you know.
Right.
Uh, but I believe, yeah, I like the energy. I like seeing people's faces, you know, enjoying the music, and I like the interaction, the closeness. So for me, I think that's the most important thing, and the thing I enjoy the most, you know,
Of
and sharing
course.
this the music live. Yeah,
I've seen some of the photos on your website and your FB page, and you
yeah.
guys look so full of energy. It's unreal.
Yeah, yeah. We try to always, you know, if you can't stand when you finish playing, you had a good show. You know?
Of that's so true. That's so true. I mean, jumping in the air and I love that energy. It's something that you can never forget.
Yeah, and that's what we try and do. Obviously, different songs have got different feels, but you know, we try and express ourselves physically through the music when playing live. And I remember years ago, someone said to me, just when I started, that if you still got energy to go drink after a show, you need to ask the crowd for your money back, you know, for their money back. Um, you know, that you need to go give them their money
Yeah,
back because you didn't give them a show. You need to be absolutely spent. And that's
yeah.
always stuck with me, you know?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's so true as well. There's some bands or singers. not that I've seen them, but what I've heard, they just either stand there and sing. There's no sort of like interaction with the crowd. There's no jumping around or, I mean, to me, that's not a show.
Yeah. No, look, I think there's different people doing different things, but I agree. I just think when you play, you just need to leave it all out there and give those people their money's worth.
I agree totally. And also, how do you guys prepare for a big performance or tour?
I think having we've done a couple where you need to obviously line your dates up and then make sure you're well rehearsed. Have a couple of sets planned because some venues will require you judge the crowd and you can see what kind of crowd you're going to have. Are you going to have a very energetic crowd or are you going to have a very thoughtful crowd?
Right.
So we prepare different sets in different flow orders. And then also you have to try and we get into the studio and we rehearse as if we are playing live the show. That's what we've always done.
Okay.
So we run the running order of the show in rehearsal, and we even try and work out the space from knowing what the venue would be like and what space we have on stage. And it's just part of being professional. And then you plan it might not always look like it, but you plan the wardrobe so that you sort of look the same,
Okay.
and whatever looks good under lights, because you don't want to irritate people's eyes as well, which is something you learn over time. And you get your instruments right, make sure your equipment is in good order so you don't have failures which can always happen, but you try and minimize that. And then you hope for the best.
Hope for the best, yeah. That actually leads me to my next question. What's the most unexpected thing that has happened during a show?
In 2019, we were playing our album launch song for Lights, our album launch show for Light Switch, and we're energetic, like you said, and we're all over the stage. And the next moment, I look at Tim, and I just see he's got blood all over his forehead.
Oh.
And I'm like, he didn't even realize it. He thought it was sweat, and somehow. Yeah, he was carrying on, and he brought his guitar up, and as he jumped, he brought his head down, and he hit his he like hit his head against the headstock of the guitar, and that split open his head.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
He didn't even realize. He just carried on. Someone brought water, threw it over his head, and tried to put a little plaster on without us missing a beat.
Jeez, Leon, that's something. Wow.
And we had blood all over the guitar and all over the stage. We looked like a death metal band or something.
With all the blood and geez. Shame, at least it wasn't that serious though, was it? Did they have to get stitches?
No, if he needed stitches, we never went and got any, but
okay.
He did hit it quite hard. That was very unexpected for all of us. We didn't expect that.
Oh my word! I think that obviously, if you're in that moment, your adrenaline, you don't feel the pain.
Yeah, you just carry on.
You just carry on. Oh, jeez.
He didn't even know. He didn't even know because he thought it was just sweat. But then, we finished the song and we just carried on with the show. So I thought that was probably the most wow moment.
Oh gosh, no, Leon, I take my hat off to him, for somebody that just going to carry on. It shows you how tough you guys are. I think so.
He's very tough.
Now, do you guys get together very often to practice?
Yeah. We try and always, we've had this rule that we at least try and rehearse and create content and work in the studio at least twice a week. Sometimes it'll, if we're recording or if we're in a video cycle or writing cycle, it could end up being 3-4 times a week, and that excludes if you've got shows or gigs. So if you've got shows or gigs, then you're together 5 times a week, 5 times a week. So yeah.
No, that's true. Now, Leon, we're just about out of time, but before we go, if you could just tell us for future fans where they can listen to your music and where they can follow you on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. We would very much appreciate if you like our stuff and you like authentic, original rock music, then please follow us, on your streaming platforms. We are on all the streaming platforms. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, everything. Please follow us, add us to your playlists, save our songs. It really helps us. It really helps us to keep doing this. Then on YouTube, please go. We weren't very active on our YouTube channel. That's picked up lately. We're pushing a lot of content there, lots of short form content, lots of short videos, insights into our lives, what we do in the studio. That's the Color Blue Music, or the Color Blue. Remember, color you spell COLOR, and blue is BLEW, the Color Blue. And same on Facebook. It's the Color Blue. On X, on Instagram, we're even on TikTok. TikTok's doing very well. We got lots of content on there as well. It's the Color Blue Music. So we're everywhere. Just search the Color Blue on Google and you'll find the links. But yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Liaan, I want to just thank you that you took time out of your day to come and chat with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting with you. And everybody, download the band's new single, Discount Hearts, which is now out on the 5th of July, which is Friday. Buy the music.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Liaan,
thanks so much. And
no problem.
Thanks for having us.
No, it's a pleasure, and you have a great day.
You too. Thanks, again.
Liaan. See you then. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.